delighted to be joined by super welter Lloyd Germain. Lloyd, first of all, how are you, mate? All
Very
good?
well, thank you. How are you guys doing? All okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
not bad, you know.
All good, thanks, mate.
Made you feel very welcome here, Nicky.
We have. Much
Always,
obliged.
always welcome here. Always welcome here.
Ah, great stuff, mate. Now, obviously, we've mentioned to the other fighters we've spoken to, been through a tough time, difficult situation with regards to lockdown.
Yeah.
How has it been for you personally, mate? And what sort of training have you been doing, taking over?
It's been different. Obviously, it's been different for everyone. But most importantly, I stayed fit, stayed active, and obviously my goals haven't changed. You know, obviously there's been no fights coming up, but like I said, I've stayed fit, and as soon as the gym doors opened, I was ready to go continue working. You know, and just back at it obviously full steam ahead now, and just obviously no date as of yet, but I'm staying ready, and as soon as any date comes up, I'll make sure I'll be ready to obviously say, yeah, we're ready to go.
I mean, with the gyms closed,
Yeah.
what did you miss most? Did you miss the training side? Did you miss the banter sort of side? Is there?
A bit of all, obviously. Is training on your own's okay, but you still lack that motivation of when you're training alongside the guys. But we got a special bond up in this gym, and obviously we're all very good friends. We train together and we push each other very hard, and most importantly we enjoy and we have fun. But I did miss all the lads. That's why I think the first day we was back in here, it was like Christmas. We was all running around, jumping around the ring, seeing what to do. Do you know what I mean? But it shows we have a great bond in here. You know, we all want the best for each other, and we all push each other very well. So
What's it like watching somebody you know fight in the ring? Is it harder than you actually being in the ring yourself? So obviously Gavin's fighting now. What's it going to be like watching Gavin?
Yeah, it is different, but I think as a fighter, you relate to it a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, as parents, if my mum or anyone's watching me, or any of the family members, they can find it hard, or friends. But as a fighter, you know, like I know I got full faith in Gav. You know what I mean? Obviously, the never wanting your mates to lose, that side of it makes it a bit edgy because it's not in your hands whether they win or lose. But it doesn't bother me too much. Obviously, I'm just more excited to watch them, and obviously watching your good friends go to work is something you take a lot of pride in. Obviously, people see the fights on TV. They don't see the long camp leading up to the fight. They don't see the work you put in behind the closed doors. You know what I mean? And being in the same camp as people who are fighting on TV, you understand and relate to each other a lot. You know what I mean? So it's so I don't really worry too much. It's just the worry about them losing, you know what I mean, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, totally.
Now, you mentioned some of the lads that's in the gym with you, some of your stablemates. I mean, how much personally for you, how special is it personally for you to be surrounded by the likes of Lee Selby, former world champions, and to be under a man, you know, with so much experience like Tony Borg?
Yeah, I take a lot of honour in it, honestly. Like, ever since I've come here, I've been welcomed, and like I've been here for about 2 years now. We've worked together, me and Tony, and under his guidance, I'm just going from strength to strength. That's a lot of credit going to the guys I'm around. Obviously Lee I'm very friendly with Gavin, very friendly with all the lads in here. But then, like you say, we got Gavin fighting for a British title, Lee world title, he won a world title, he's going to be fighting for another one now. Even like today we had Riddy come down, he's fighting for a British title.
Jamie Cox is
he's in the mix, and it just shows I'm a strong believer in you are the company you keep. You around people like that, you're only going to better yourself, you know what I mean? And for someone who's early in my career, I'm taking their guidance and listening to everything they've got to say, and like I said, it's a great privilege for me to be here. You know, I'm going from strength to strength with the guys, and obviously under the guidance of Tony.
Okay, mate. I mean, you turned pro in 2019.
Yeah.
Last year, and you've been, you know, active. Did you have much of a amateur background, or?
I didn't. I had 2 amateur fights, spread over many years. Obviously, due to many reasons, I was in and out of the gym, and didn't really knuckle down to anything. Obviously, I knew I had a lot of talent. I had a bit of a family tragedy in 2018, unfortunately, and since then I haven't looked back. I've put all my eggs into one basket of using boxing to better myself, for me and for my family, you know. And since like that's happened, it's obviously what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and I feel stronger for it. I'm grateful, and it's a big part of my life now, boxing. So yeah, something I take a lot of pride into.
What were some of the main incentives for you to turn pro, Lloyd? I mean, you mentioned there, you know, looking after your family and things like that. Was it that to start earning, you know, in the sport you love and looking after your family?
Yeah, that's most definitely. But it's important to do something you love as your job. You know what I mean? And boxing is something I have a massive passion for, and I obviously love boxing. You know what I mean? Again, it's money. You know, But the world doesn't, money makes the world go round, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if I can give my family something through my hard work, it'll be a great privilege for myself, you know. And also it's for me to do something I love, you know. Like I said, I'm a boxing fanatic. I love it. It's not something you do if you don't enjoy it, you know what I mean? And no one likes to get punched in the face, but if you can get punched in the face and earn a lot of money, then so be it.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the ring, you sort of like you a boxing scholar? Do you watch a lot of boxing, or is that, you know, do you watch like a lot of YouTube clips? Have you got like a favourite fighter? Do you do a lot of that whole?
Yeah, of course. You've got to study boxing as well. It's, a big part of boxing is watching and learning, you know. Obviously I don't stick or watch one person, I watch many different fighters, many different styles, and I try and incorporate bits from each of them to better myself, you know what I mean? I think someone asked me before, if you was a boxer, which boxer would you like to be? I always say I'd like to be Lloyd Germain, that's who I am. But I have my own style and use bits from each fighter which are great to put into my style, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
You mentioned Mr. Tony Borg there. I'm just interested to know, I mean, how did our working relationship come about?
Obviously Tony's one of the best trainers around, you know what I mean? For me, he's a blessing. I'm honoured to have him as my trainer. He was a relative to my brother who passed away. Obviously we had a connection there besides boxing, and he's just someone I look up to and take a lot of advice from. I know he's always got my best interest, and under his guidance things have been great for myself, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in the gym we've got Gavin Gwynn, we've mentioned Jimmy Cox, Lee Selby.
Yeah.
How much of an impact have they had in your sort of boxing career? Do you pick up, do you try and take a lot from them and incorporate into your style?
Yeah, most definitely. You'd be a fool not to, do you know what I mean? You've got, like you say, Lee Selby. He's a top quality operator, you know what I mean? He's world class level. You've got Gavin Gwynn, you've got Jamie Cox, you've got not just the guys in our stable, but you've got great boxers from over Britain and everything who come to this gym to train, and
we got to mention Riddy as well.
Riddy,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So it's great to have them people around, and for me to be able to use them to better myself, if that makes sense. Like I said, I'm very friendly with Lee, so we've been away on training camps, and I take a lot of advice from him. He's someone who's done it the similar route to which I will, from ground level. Obviously he didn't have a massive amateur career, wasn't signed by a major promoter, and boxed at small hall shows, and now he's worked his way right to the very top. So if I can follow his guidance and listen to him, well, that's exactly what I like to do, you know what I mean?
Of course, mate. What do you like to sort of get up to in your spare time? I know obviously it's different, you know, different at the moment given restrictions are still in place.
Yeah.
But what do you and the lads like to get up to local? Is it a place you go and grab a bite to eat together, or?
Yeah, well, we go out, have food, you know what I mean? Usually we train, have a coffee, go for some food after. But if I'm not in the gym, I like to spend time with my family, you know what I mean? I'm a sports fanatic, so I like to stay active, go on bike rides, play the occasional round of golf, and sit down and just enjoy time outside of the gym, do you know what I mean? It's I'm usually in the gym 6 days a week, so that day off, before you know it, you're back in, but you're just making sure I enjoy myself when you're not in the gym, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, you fought last, I think, February, was it all right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's sort of giving you the edge over other fighters, the fact that you've managed to squeeze a fight in 2020?
It possibly has, you know what I mean? Because I think the last show we had before that, I boxed in November. It is 3 months, but then you got to look over Christmas, you're inactive anyway. February, I was meant to box then in March, so I stayed fit right through, you know what I mean? And since 2019, since turning pro, I've had a pretty active pro career, do you know what I mean? I had 4 fights in the space of how many months? Obviously this has now slowed everything down, but as soon as there's any dates going, I want to be the first on the shows, and to pick up from where we left off and continue winning, you know, and continue progressing. That's most important.
I'm interested to know as well, Lloyd, I mean, with obviously only turning pro last year, is this your full-time job now, or do you work as well on the side?
This is my full-time job. Like I said, I put all my eggs into one basket, and I've stopped work, and this is all I've got right now, you know what I mean? And I'm using boxing to better myself, for me, my family, and for myself, you know what I mean, most important.
I suppose it's better just to have one focus rather than having boxing as a focus, job as a focus. This, you know, it's better, isn't it, just to have sort of one thing.
Like my idea is, if you've got a plan B, it's always a backup, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have no plan B. I got one plan, and that's for me to better myself through boxing, you know. And just to get the most out of boxing I can. That's most important, you know.
Definitely.
I know it's difficult to make predictions moving forward and to look too far ahead with things, but I mean, what are your personal hopes for the rest of 2020?
Just to get another fight into my belt. At the moment, there's obviously no shows. There's shows, but they're only televised shows. You know what I mean? So there's. I'm hoping to get another bout under my belt by 2020, and then just 2021 just have a massive year. Do you know what I mean? And just start knocking on the door now. Obviously, I'm undefeated in 4 fights, so there's going to be opportunities that come up to myself.
Yeah.
You see it now, especially at the moment. There's more 50-50 fights. So, like I said, I'm learning in the gym every single day. I'm lucky to have like Gav, who's got a fight coming up, Jamie Cox, and Lee Selby. These guys have all got dates penciled in, so I'm using their camp as if I'm in camp myself. You know what I mean? And pushing myself to be better. So then when like that phone rings, you know, I'm more than ready to go. And yeah, we're knocking on the door then, you know.
Definitely. I mean, the super welter division, like pretty much all divisions now, is quite stacked.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Charlo, he's knocking about, is he Kell Brook, you know, Lara. Who do you see as the main guy of the super welters?
Yeah, Charlo's up there, isn't he? But I can obviously I can box well to it as well. But someone I look up to and take a lot from is Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
I think he's for me he's the pound for pound. He's number 1 in the division.
Special
at the moment,
fighter,
you know what I mean? He's special.
Yeah.
He's he seems to have it all. Do you know what I mean? And even though when he's come up against guys who are world level again, he just shows that a little bit more. And he is someone I think he's the best in the division.
Do you think the Spence fight's ever going to happen, or is it going to be another Khan instead of Brock? Sort of?
I think eventually they should get it on, but I don't know if you agree with me on this or not. But I think what happened to Spence this year with the car accident, is he going to be the same now? You know what I mean?
You mentioned his post score.
And
That's my worry about Spence.
when you're coming up against a world quality operator, you only got one chance. Stuff that has happened can take its toll on you, you know what I mean? But I hope it hasn't, because it would be great to see them both get it on, and I'm sure it would be a great fight for the fans. But personally, I think Crawford would just be a bit too clever. I think he just, he's special.
What about domestically as well? I mean, there's some great fights that have been made and can be made domestically as well. I mean, we look at the Eggington Cheeseman fight, which is going to be on the Matchroom headquarters shows, and Anthony Fowler's another name. I mean, it's stacked, isn't it?
Of course, like obviously we're on about world level. Me at the moment, I'm looking at that, like British level, you've got to look at first, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a goal of mine, is to win a British title, and we have a great bunch of super welterweights and welterweights in Britain at the moment. You see that it's the divisions, both divisions are thriving, and there's some top quality operators in there. So yeah, definitely I want to get myself within the mix with all them. And like I said, there's no, at the moment you take every fight as it is, and obviously when I'm ready to fight those type of guys, then that's what we'll be ready to do, you know.
We've also got the Conor Benn bubbling up situation.
Of course, you even look, British champion is Welsh anyway, isn't he?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It shows the, even in Wales we got
the depth of boxing we got you.
Of course.
Yeah, we're blessed, and we definitely meet. Have you sparred any of the names that we've mentioned there, you know, the likes of maybe Eggington, Cheeseman, Fowler, have you?
I've not sparred any of them, to be honest. Obviously we're lucky to have a lot of good in-house sparring up here in the gym anyway.
Yeah.
I've done rounds with Lewis Ritson. Obviously he boxes lighter than me, but he's quite a big lad anyway.
What was that like, Lloyd?
Yeah, great experience, you know what I mean? I take every sparring session, take learning from it, you know what I mean? Just to be in the ring with people like that, it's you know, you got to challenge yourself against the best, and I think that's how you become the best, by just even sparring, you know what I mean? It's the sparring I've had is tougher than the fights I've had, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. It's like you look at some of the ex-world champions, their sparring partners are brought in for them, and you see them their sparring partners go on to win world titles, and I think that's where you learn a lot of your trade, you know what I mean, in the sparring.
Definitely, mate. I mean, apart from obviously Gavin's fight in the back garden of Eddie's house,
yeah,
are there any other fights on the fight camps and the full fight camps that you're looking forward to just as a spectator?
Yeah, I'd like to see Eggington Cheeseman. Like you say, they both box around the same weight as me. Do you know what I mean? And I'd like to see what Cheeseman's got left. Do you know what I mean? You see from his last fight against Fitzgerald, he boxed a bit more. Whereas before, I think he's been more of a fighter, isn't he? You know what I mean? And I think he shocked a lot of fans there, because he put on a pretty great performance of boxing, you know what I mean? And I know Eggington, he's a tough lad, he likes to fight, so if styles do make fights, and I think it should gel and be a great fight there. There's loads of good
Congo,
fights.
I think it's going under the radar, but
That's good,
that could be a great
because they're
fight.
both welterweights as well, aren't they? So, yeah, there's going to be a great few fights in there, but most importantly, the fight I got my eye on is Gavin against Henderson. You know what I mean? I really hope Gavin brings this British title back to the gym, and it'll be great to see that. You know?
Definitely.
Yeah, we certainly hope so too, mate.
Well, on behalf of Southwest Boxing Media, thanks for your time, Lloyd, and we wish you all the best now in 2020.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you,
for the
mate.
interview.
Thanks a lot, Lloyd.
Cheers.